Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, yes I can.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going well. Just got home from school.
Well, there you go. I got Mr. Johnny Orlando with us on the phone. How you doing today?
I'm good, thank you very much. How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing well. So
How's Houston?
let's start off and just kind of tell me briefly what you've been up to the last couple of months.
So the last couple months, we didn't really have many writing sessions or much music stuff going on. We've actually been doing mixes and mastering and stuff for the EP. So the whole creative part is done now, and it's just kind of the technical level adjustments and the fine tuning of the songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you get started from the beginning?
Oh, I got started on YouTube actually when I was 8 years old. My sister and I were kind of bored around Christmas time, and we really did not know what else to do. So she was like, "Hey, do you want to make a cover on YouTube?" And I was like, "Sure." I was 8 years old. I had no idea what was going on.
Wow.
Like I had no idea anything could even happen or people would see it. But sure enough, we ended up getting a couple views, a couple subscribers. So we put out another one, and then just kind of snowballed from there.
So she just said, let's post on YouTube and see where it goes.
Yeah, basically.
Because
Which
you were
is funny.
bored one day.
Yeah, I think about it sometimes. I'm like, what if I was like, no, I want to play video games. Like if I just didn't want to do it.
Yeah, your life would be completely different.
Yeah.
So how fast did it take to like just blow up like crazy?
Well, this December, it's been, I think, 7 years since we started our YouTube channel.
Wow.
And just recently in the last like two and a half years is when things really started picking up, and I got signed to Universal last year.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a slow build, but it definitely was exponential at a certain point.
So you got signed to Universal about a year ago.
Yeah, Universal Music Canada. Very excited.
Awesome. Yeah. So, and I know I was looking at your social media, and you have like 5.7 million. That's insane.
Thank you. Yeah, it took a while, but I mean, it's actually kind of crazy. I feel like I know all my fans. Like we're all pretty tight, even though there's so many people in the fandom now. But they're like my family. Honestly, they support me through everything, which I appreciate a lot.
It's like a second family right there.
Honestly, and it's a pretty big family.
So I was looking, through all those followers, and I noticed that some of them are from like other countries. So have you traveled to other countries or?
I've been a lot of places. I've been to Europe. I've been to Asia, but that was when I was like 8. But no, not as many places as I would like to go, or as many places where I have people that know who I am. That's the good thing about the internet, I guess. Like anybody from anywhere can find out who you are and like just look you up. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Yeah. So I haven't been to all the places that I have fans in yet, but that's the goal someday, world tour maybe.
There you go. Because so you went to Europe, you said, and what was that like? Going and getting to explore another country to see what it's like.
It's crazy. Europe's completely different. Like the buildings are so cool. Obviously, like the culture there is a little bit different. Like you have to kind of figure out how to not look like a tourist, which is kind of fun. But I've been to like London. I've been to Eastern Europe, like Bratislava, and Czech and those kind of areas. And I went to Poland a couple times for the Young Stars Festival and for a little tour there. And I'm trying to think what else. We went to France as well, and we did it was actually crazy. Here, I'll tell you a story. Okay, basically, we went to France because there's this show called Die Geissens, which is actually a German show, but the people live in Monaco and France and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I got flown in on a helicopter, and I did a song at this girl's birthday party.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
And what happened? So you went on a helicopter, And it was like, I don't even know where I'm going, but I'm on a helicopter. That's the best part of the story, right?
Yeah, we were in the hills of southern France somewhere, and at like this hotel that they owned. And then we drove to like an airstrip, and they're like, "All right, this is the helicopter." And I was dressed like Tom Cruise because it was around Halloween too. It was weird. It was really cool though. So I got flown in, and I landed on this guy's lawn, and then I performed for his daughter. But we're all friends now, which is kind of funny. But
and I tell you, like you were saying earlier, if your sister would not have, decided let's put something on YouTube, you would have been, sitting there playing video games rather than now you're on a helicopter in another country.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of changed my mentality now as well for everything. Like, I'm kind of just like, why not? Give it a try. Who knows what's going to happen? Which I think is a good mentality.
So what do you think about social media? Do you think it's good in general, or do you think there's some cons to it?
Well, there's pros and cons to everything. I would say there's more pros to social media than cons. Pros, of course, are that you have an international community. It doesn't matter where you're from or who you are. You can find like-minded people, and you can become friends with them, say if your real-life situation isn't optimal. Obviously, some cons are with that. You can, like, impersonate people and, like, whatever, get catfish and stuff. And then also there's the fact that everybody in the world can use the internet, and that kind of has some drawbacks sometimes. There's some like crazy stories about people finding out where I live and stuff, but I signed up for it.
Like you were saying, catfish, man, is that a big deal for you? Do you see that happen at all for yourself?
I'm very careful about the people I talk to on social media, and just like any in real life relationships
well, you should be.
I have.
Yeah,
of course. You should always be cautious, but I've seen it happen to my friends, which is kind of funny. They'll be talking to a girl, and I'm like, "Yo, she's fake," and then they're like, "No, she's not." Sure enough, we find the girl's Instagram.
Yeah,
it's just kind of funny, but yeah, you always have to be careful. It happened to me one time though, a couple of years ago. Yeah. I
mean, so how do you go about social media? Because knowing that you have so many people wanting to see what's going on, do you feel any kind of pressure, like I have to post the best stuff, or do you have like a team where you focus together of what to post?
Yeah, well, the team is pretty much me and my sister for the social media stuff, unless it's like when also gets involved and they help with that. But yeah, I'd say there's some pressure. You always want to have entertaining posts, or else people will like stop looking at your page. And your engagement will go down and stuff like that. But yeah, you always want to keep it new, keep it fresh, make funny posts sometimes.
Your sister, she seems to do a lot. Has she always done a lot for you?
Oh yeah, my family's super involved actually with almost everything that I do. Everything I do in the business world. They come on tour with me everywhere I go. If I have to go to LA or Europe or wherever, there's always at least one family member with me. And Darian, my sister that I started the YouTube channel with, she's kind of like my sister manager now, as well as my other sister. I have 3 sisters. So Darian and Madison, which are my 2 older sisters, they help with the managerial side of the music stuff that we have going. And Darian's more of the creative kind of type, and my sister Madison does the business.
So how do you balance school out of all of this? Because now you're doing school as well as social media and music and what else? It's like the question is, what aren't you doing?
Yeah, I guess so. It's pretty crazy sometimes. I mean, I have exams next week, and then I finish exams on Thursday, and then on Friday I'm flying to LA to do like a series. It's for Brad. It's called Total Eclipse. It's my sister's show, and I have like a recurring role on there. So it's kind of crazy. You just have to be extra organized, I guess, and you have to work a little bit harder. But if you get your stuff done, then it really is a problem. And I do go to regular school. Most people think that I do online school.
Really?
But actually, yeah.
So what's that like for your friends? Like, you come back from summer vacation, they're like, "What'd you do this summer?" "Oh, I rode on a helicopter and I."
Yeah, I know. I get chirped for it, like, "Oh, look at this guy. He thinks he's famous." And then it's all jokes though. And I went to a new school last year, and I'm still there this year. And I was super nervous on the first day. I didn't know what was gonna happen. If I was gonna end up in a locker, or head in the garbage bin. Who knows? But everybody's super cool at the school, and they welcomed me with open arms.
Did people recognize you?
Yeah. There's.
So was that what you were hoping for, or was that what you were hoping not for? You were not hoping for.
I knew it was going to happen because schools are kind of like they have a lot of young girls, which is like my prime audience, my demographic. So I knew a little bit of it was going to happen when some of the guys knew who I was. But everybody was pretty cool about it. Nobody really was rude or anything like that.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, knowing you got it, half the school knew who you were. Does that ever happen where you're out and about and people know who you are?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Really?
Especially when I go to like malls and stuff. Wherever there's like younger teenage girls, or like girls or guys sometimes. Especially in Toronto, where I'm from, they will probably know who I am. It's especially like
and that right there is why social media is a bad thing. Because when one person sees you, they go to their friends, "Hey, he's here. Yeah. He's at this place," and now 50,000 people are there.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's not quite so crazy, but I'll say hi, take a few pictures, and then I'll just like keep walking, sort of thing.
Yeah. So, have you found that most of your supporters are, nice? They're there to support you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. People that have fan pages, and anybody that also doesn't, they're like, I don't really know how to explain it. Like, they give me so much love and support, and I haven't really met anybody with malicious intent or wanting to do anything bad or harmful to me or my family, which is awesome. And everybody that I've talked to over social media and all of my fans are so nice to me, like the nicest people in the entire world. And I wish everybody could meet them and talk to them, but
talking about all the positivity on social media, it is social media, so there's always going to be negativity. Have you ever faced too much of that, or like what is your intake? Like how do you go about that? Do you just put it in one ear out the other?
Yeah. For every one negative comment, there's 10 positive ones. So that's just how I think about it. Like this one person that is calling me obscene things is probably, going through something right now or has some reason or another in their personal life that they're being rude. So, I mean, I can't really get mad at anybody for it because I know why they're doing it. And, at the end of the day, who really cares what other people think about you?
That's right. And it's interesting because I find that, I don't know why it is this, but it tends to only be singers who have that mindset that I can do whatever I want to do, and I'm just, whatever anybody thinks, I'll use, what they have to say as a positivity, but when it's, negative, they're just going to say, I'm still going to do my thing. And it's interesting because it's just singers who have that input, but it's like everybody needs to have that input, singer or not.
I know, yeah. I guess when you're exposed to it more often, you kind of just figure it out. Like, you can't let every negative comment affect you, because then you would just be in a heap on the floor. Just like,
there are a lot of people out there who, when they hear one negative thing, they say, okay, well, no, I'm not going to do that, and they move on to something else.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to take constructive criticism, but if somebody's just being inherently rude, then I just ignore them. Like, all right, buddy, you do you.
All right, so this next part, I actually went out. I decided, I saw you had 5.7 million people, and I said, well, let's see, what your supporters are all about, right? So, first off, what do you call them? I don't want to. How do you address your supporters?
We don't really have a name, I guess. It used to be JOs, but that was like 5-6 years ago.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was kind of outdated name, but we just kind of call them like supporters or fans.
Well, there you go. So I joined these fan pages, like you said, and I decided to see, what do people think about you, right?
No way.
I had these people, and I tell you, like you said, social media spreads around. I messaged one person who told like 50,000 other people, right? So I put together a list of questions from your supporters to ask you.
All right. I guess I could probably guess what at least one of them is.
There you go. So this first question comes from Spicy Wani, and she says,
okay.
Would you ever have a close friendship with one of your fans?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I don't really, I guess, treat fans like whatever. Like, people that love me that much I consider family. Like that, they love me to a point where they are literally part of my family. They're part of my everyday life, and they affect me every day. So I don't think it's fair to just call them fans. And I have, I guess, relationships or friendships with fans, and I DM them all the time, and it's a real thing that happens. So,
Yeah, that's all. That's kind of amazing right there, because all these people are so nice, and they're over here just wanting to see what your life is going to be like. Like they're over here. Well, he's going places. He's riding on a helicopter, so I want to see where he's going to be in 10 years, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So this next question comes from Johnny Orlando _ love LUV, and she says, do you ever stalk fans' social media pages?
I actually do more often than you might think. I'll just be laying in my bed at night, and I'll go through my tags, and if I see a cool edit or like a video, I love video edits. And if I see a cool one, I'll go on the person's page, and I might follow them. I'll like some of their posts, and I'll look at their edits. It's kind of narcissistic, I guess, but I mean, it's really cool. So
I just wonder what that's like. You're over here, and they're like, I bet your phone is blowing up. You can't even look at your phone because you're just getting thousands of notifications a minute.
I had to turn off my Instagram notifications because it was nonstop. My phone was crashing and stuff. Whenever I go on Instagram, you can still see DMs that pop up, and whenever I type into a group chat or I DM somebody, that my phone just freezes and dies. It's crazy.
Man. So somebody asks, okay, you're going to have to give a story about this because I have no idea what they mean. But they say, is Jenzie real?
That's what I was talking about when I said I could guess at least one of the questions. So Jenzie is the name that my fans have given myself and Kenzie Ziegler, which is one of my close friends. And is Jenzie real means, are me and Mackenzie dating?
Oh.
And no, we are not dating. And,
so you're good friends.
We're really good friends. We made a couple of music videos together, and we've gone. We actually spent Christmas Eve together, which was fun.
Oh, really?
At a place called Friend's Place in LA. Yeah, it was cool. And no, Jenzie is not real though.
It is to them.
I guess so. People still make edits and stuff.
There you go. Okay, so this next question is from Johnny Sunshine. Okay, that's a creative name, and what she says is, "Do you like chocolate?"
I do. I love chocolate. I was just eating a chocolate bear paw a couple minutes ago.
There you go. All right, and this is a question from My Fave Orlando, and she says, Will you marry me?
Why not? Let's do it.
Well, there you go. All right, so this next question, I don't know who it comes from, but it says, what is the most funniest moment you've ever had with a fan? I don't like that name, fan. Let's say family member. There you go. Fam, right?
All right, so I guess the funniest moment, I have a habit of always getting myself pulled into crowds. And it's like a well-known thing. Like, there's like hashtags about it and stuff. It's just like me getting pulled into the crowd at concerts. I'll put my arm out and people will just grab me, which is kind of funny. But I think the one time it happened, I actually just ended up crowd surfing, and people were like, there were like little girls under me, and I felt kind of bad, but it was really funny.
Oh,
so
no.
I'd say that's one of them.
So the next question, which is going to be the last question, it is, if you could do a collab with any singer, dead or alive, who would it be?
I think it'd be really cool to do a collab with, can I choose more than one?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, my top, I guess, like 5 artists of all time are Drake, The Weeknd, Justin Bieber, Shawn Mendes, and actually, I really want to do one with this guy, Pink Sweats. He's a new artist, actually. He released a song I really like, and I was DMing him yesterday, actually, about doing a session together, which would be really cool.
Well, there you go.
But yeah, you'll have to listen to this. It's called Honesty, or I forget the other one's name, but Honesty is really, really cool. That's my favorite.
So whenever you go into these, like group chats or whatever, and you put in a message, you said these people, the followers, supporters, what do they do? Do they like spam the chat like crazy, or just?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of people, I guess, that are in my fandom, and I can't obviously, DM all of them. So it's, I guess, it's a very small chance that I'll actually DM a certain person. So people get really excited when I go into group chats and stuff like that, and they like tell their friends, and then other group chats become active, and then that's kind of where the domino effect of my Instagram crashing happens.
There you go. So what do you want people to know about you?
I just want people to know that I genuinely care about them. I mean, a lot of artists, I guess, just kind of, go about their day, don't really think about anything, just, focus on music and music only, which I do, but I take to heart everything that people say, except for the hate. And I look at edits, and I like edits, and I scroll through my Instagram, and I see all the love and support, and it means so much to me, and I just want to say thank you.
And what would you give advice? What would you say if you were going to give advice to somebody who wants to become a singer, wants to start a YouTube page?
Well, for YouTube, I would definitely say that persistence is one of the most important factors in becoming popular on YouTube. If you're making the best content you can as often as you can, you will start seeing feedback from people that will just stumble across your video. And I guess hop on trends is one that people don't always agree with, but it definitely works. If you want to get recognition quickly, then I'd say just find the biggest song if you want to become a singer at that moment and do a cover to it.
Well, there you go. Doesn't get better than that. Johnny Orlando is with us. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us a little bit today.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So before I let you go, I want to get you to do a little intro for me, if you could do that.
All right.
All I got to have you to say is very easy. All you have to say is, this is Johnny Orlando, and you were listening to Maverick's Corner.
Maverick's Corner?
Corner. C-O-R.
Corner?
Yep, Corner.
All right. This is Johnny Orlando, and you're listening to Maverick's Corner.
Well, there you go. Well, I want to thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
So this is going to air next week. I will email your sister again and give her some details on how to listen to that, and, give her a link to the interview as well.
Sweet.
Well, thanks again for taking the time. It was awesome to talk to you a little bit.
No problem. My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Alrighty, Will. Good luck.
Thank you.
Can't wait to see where you go in the future.
Thank you.
Alrighty, have a great weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.